Hi guys, and welcome to day 21 of our 30-day challenge. I hope you're ready for a full class. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will meet you on the mat. Hi guys, so let's begin in a comfortable seated position. So again, just find a position that's comfortable for you. So if you need to raise your hips up and sit on a pillow or something, then do so. It just lengthens your spine a little bit more. Wherever you are, bring your hands to your knees, close down the eyes, maybe roll the shoulders back, and just start focusing in on your breath. So just give a nice big inhale and exhale. Just focus in on the rising and falling of the chest. And what you can feel. Now let's bring our left hand to our stomachs. And on the next inhale, balloon the belly out. Exhale, feel it contract. So really focus all your breath into your belly. So inhale into your belly. Loosen all the muscles there. Exhale, relax. And bring your hand up to, or your right hand, sorry, to your ribs. Inhale to the belly, then to the ribs, then exhale the ribs and exhale the belly. So inhale the belly, and then the ribs. Feel the ribs expand a little. Exhale, feel the ribs contract, and then the belly contract. Let's do another one of these. Now let's move your right hand up to your chest. Inhale to the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. Exhale, the chest, the ribs, the belly. And again, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. So just feel how much breath you can actually get into your body. Make this the biggest inhale of the day. And exhale, release it all. Let's do one more. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Just bring the hands back to the knees. Just come back to your natural breath for a second. Just see if you notice a difference. Maybe you notice a difference in how deep you're now breathing. Maybe you notice a difference in the way you feel. Maybe you don't notice anything. That's absolutely fine. And just slowly blink open the eyes. Okay, so let's bring the hands behind us. We're going to lean back slightly. Bring the right knee in front of the pelvis. Left knee in front of the pelvis. Right knee is going to come up and over. So you want to try to stack your knees in front of you. So your hips are still grounded on the floor. Try to get your knees in line. It doesn't matter if they're not exactly in line. I know mine aren't there. If you are struggling to get yourself into this position, another good thing to do is to lean forward, stack your knees, and then lower back down again. Sometimes it just helps to align there. If you can grab your feet. You're going to have your hands on your knees, just wherever is comfortable. If you want them by your sides. Just take a nice big inhale and exhale here. If you're really struggling with this, the bottom leg can be out straight. So you've just got your right leg coming over the top. So find whichever position is good for you, and then just focus in on your breath. Try to make a nice equal inhale and exhale here. So maybe you might want to count it. So you could inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Whatever you want to get that nice equal breath. Okay, so let's switch to the other side. So you can either lean back on your hands and just switch your legs, or if you want to make it look a bit more fancy, hands come to the mat, start to ground down through your feet and lift yourself up, and then twizzle around the back of your mat and come all the way back around to the front, and you end up with the other leg on top. Again, you can lift yourself up, stack the knees, come back down. Grab hold of your feet if you want, or put your hands out to the side. Just again, focusing in on that breath. So maybe you might want to count. So do count of 4 again. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Just keep going with that. Nice equal breaths. So today we're just bringing together everything that we've done in the last week. And then on day 30, it's just going to be a mix of everything that we have done. You've all done so good to get this far. Okay, and then bring in the hands behind you. Let's bring the right leg long, because that's the one that's underneath. The left leg flat on the ground, next to your thigh. Just turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. Inhale your hands up, and then exhale, twist over to the left. So your left hand comes behind, right hand can either come on your knee, or you can hook your elbow and twist, but you want to make sure that your chest is nice and open. So if you start finding that by bringing your elbow into your knee, you're starting to arch the back and round, you don't want that. So hand on knee, open up. Nice inhale and exhale here. Then just taking a little counter twist over to the right for a second and releasing it. Left leg comes long, right leg comes over the left knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twisting over to the right this time. So again, either hook your left hand onto your right knee, so you've got a nice open chest, or you can hook the elbow and twist. Just make sure that you're not closing off the chest. And as you're twisting, try to think that you're twisting from the belly, the ribs, and then the chest, like with the breath that we did at the beginning, rather than just trying to see how far you can twist. Trying to twist just from the torso. And then exhale, counter twist to the left. Release back to the center. Okay, so I'm just going to face you again now so that you can see. So now the left leg is going to come parallel to the top of your mat if you're looking towards the top. The right foot is going to come above the left knee. So the right knee is above the left foot. So we're in our firelog pose. So when you look down, you can see a triangle in between your legs. So your hands can be on your foot and your knee if you want. They can be next to you. You just want to try to create length in the spine. So if this feels too much, what you can do is grab a block or a pillow and just place it under the knee, just to take off a little bit of that pressure. Obviously, you still want to feel things, feel a sensation, kind of stretching sensation, but you don't want any pain and you don't want it to be too much. So if you've added a prop and you're still feeling it, I'd probably say stick to the prop. Now I can still feel this, so I'm going to stay here. If you are extremely flexible and both of your legs are flat to the ground, you can lengthen through the spine and start to lean forward. If you're up like me, lengthen through the spine. Remember, yoga is about what you feel and not how deep you can get into the pose. Very, very hard to remember that, but it's true. And then removing whatever props you've got, you can just lean back onto your hands and let's just switch the legs. So right leg comes down first, parallel to the top of the mat. Left foot on top of the right knee. Left knee on top of the right foot. You can flex the feet, lengthen through your spine. Again, take whatever variation you need to. So if you need a prop, As long as you're still feeling sensation, I definitely still am. That's absolutely fine. Just lengthen through your spine. If your feet are flat to the ground, inhale length, exhale, fold forward slightly. As long as you're feeling it, it doesn't matter where you're feeling it either. Everybody will feel this in different places. It just depends on your body and where's tight for you. Nice, even inhale and exhale. Always, always coming back to your breath. And then removing whatever props you have out the way. Leaning back onto your hands. Let's come over onto all fours. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Let's drop the belly down, look towards the top of the mat. And now let's move the belly towards the right side, so you're making the left side body quite short. And then as you exhale, you're going to arch and then bring it over to the left. Inhale, lower the belly, bring it over to the right. So just a few little circles in cat-cow today. Maybe bending the elbows. So just as you coming down, you inhale, arch the back downwards. Exhale, arch the back up. And maybe closing down the eyes, just seeing what you can feel. And then reversing the other way. So from the left side, exhale, arch your back, bring it over to the right. Inhale, drop your belly, bring it over to the left. You can keep your head neutral, or once you've got the momentum and you understand the movement, as you come into your cow pose, you drop the chin. You come into cat pose, sorry. As you come into your cow pose, you look up slightly. So your back is arched up, your head's looking towards your thighs. When your back is arched downwards, you're looking towards the top of your mat. And then next time you come back to neutral, just rest in all fours. Sometimes that movement can take a little while to get the hang of, so just have a little practice of it. And let's bring the left hand out a little bit further past the shoulders. Inhale the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread it under your left armpit. Lower your head to the mat. Sorry, too much hair, can't see. And your left arm can either come long, so your right shoulder and your head are resting on the mat now. You can keep your left arm long, or you can bring it behind and either place it at the bottom of your back, or you can see if you can grab your right thigh, but whatever feels comfortable for you. Just again, try to remember to focus on that breath. It's all about breathing into the poses. So on the exhale, just feel the release, feel your body releasing into that sensation, into wherever you're feeling it. And then bringing the left hand in. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, release. Bring the right hand out further past the shoulder. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, left hand threads underneath the right armpit. Left shoulder comes to the mat. Your head comes to the mat. And your right arm can either come out long, or again, it can wrap around either to the bottom of your back, or if you can wrap it round and grab your left thigh. But whatever feels comfortable for you. Remembering all these different variations, it's good to try a variation to see what it feels like for your body. But If you feel the sensation in the easiest variation of it, stay there. Stay there until you don't feel a sensation anymore. Then you know it's time to move on to the next. And relax into it. Feel the breath. And then bring in the right arm back in. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, back to all fours. Sorry, I've got one of them annoying tops on that just rides up all the time. Bring the hands out quite far past the shoulders. Try to keep your hips above your knees. And we're going to lower the chest down to the mat. So you can either, if you can't get down that far, you can put a block underneath your head so your head's resting on a block. You can rest your forehead onto the mat, or you can rest your chin onto the mat. Wherever you feel a sensation and you want to feel as if your heart is melting into the ground. And don't forget to breathe. If you're struggling to breathe in one of these poses, you've gone too far, so just loosen off out of it. And then just slowly lift back up. Bring your hands back in. Tuck the toes. Hover your knees. Push your chest towards your thighs and your bum towards the sky. Nice bend in the knees still. And then lengthen out one leg while bending the other. Then bending both, straighten out the other leg. Bending both and straighten out one. And bending your knees and straighten out the other. Again, you're looking for length in your spine here. You're not looking to see if your heels can touch the ground. You're just always trying to bring your chest in towards your thighs. And then bending both knees quite a bit. Look in between your hands. And just take slow little steps towards the top of your mat until you're in a forward fold. So slight bend in the knees. Just release here, release the whole upper body, let your whole body just hang, just lengthen all through the backs of your legs and the back of your spine. Maybe shake your head yes and no, make sure it's nice and released. And bend the knees even more, sweep the arms all the way up above your head. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, so let's find Tadasana pose. Feet hips distance apart. Ground down through the four corners of your feet, either side of your heel, either side of the ball of your foot. Lift your toes, spread your toes, and just see if you can place them back down from the little toe, then the next, until you get to the big toe. Really ground down through them feet. Rock back and forth slightly. Just find that balance in the middle. Slight bend in the knees. Maybe you need to tuck your tailbone under slightly just to lengthen through the spine. Roll the shoulders back. Head over pelvis, pelvis over feet. Reach your fingertips down towards the ground and then loosen them slightly. Steady balance at the top of your mat. Okay, so let's go through a sun salutation A. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come up the legs, lengthen through the spine, open the chest. Exhale, forward fold, slight bend in the knees. Plant the hands. The right foot comes back, left foot comes back, you're in your plank. Lower the knees, lower the chest, come through into a cobra, whatever cobra you want to take today. Push back onto your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Bending your knees, looking between your hands, either step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, sweep the arm all the way up. Hands together. Exhale, hands to chest. Okay, sun salutation B. Nice bend in the knees. Inhale, arms sweep down and come into that chair pose. Exhale, hands together, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back. Lower the knees, lower the chest. Come through into your cobra. Push back onto your knees, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. So remember, we did these different variations not so long ago. If you do need to go back and re-watch the video, then please do so. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you all now. Inhale the right leg up. Bend the knee, bring it forward in between your hands. Raise up into a high lunge. Exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Right foot back into downward facing dog. Left leg raises high. Bend the left knee, fingertips of the left hand, left foot comes forward. Find your balance. Inhale up, high lunge. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Left foot steps back. Lower the knees, lower the chest. Come through into your cobra. Push back onto your knees, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Bend both your knees, looking in between your hands, either step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms down, come back into that chair pose. Exhale, hands together, and stand up straight. Tadasana, top of your mat. So that was our Sun Sal A and our Sun Sal B. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Just another Sun Sal A now. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back. Push back into your downward facing dog. So again, just find your variation of downward facing dog. If that's with your knees bent quite a bit, maybe it's paddling out your legs. Feet together at the back of your mat. Inhale the right leg up. Bend the knee. Bring your right knee behind your right hand. Your right ankle behind your left hand. So again, depending on your flexibility, you could have it very bent like me, or if you're really flexible, your right foot could be all the way up here. So find your variation of pigeon pose, whatever feels comfortable for you. Look behind you, just make sure that your left leg is nice and straight. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. If it feels okay, maybe you want to lower down onto your elbows. If that feels okay, maybe you want to lower down onto your arms. Just make sure in this pose that you do not have any knee pain whatsoever. If you're feeling anything in your knee, come out of it. Just come back into downward facing dog or just rest into child's pose. So try to bring length through your spine. And if you feel like you're rolling over onto one side, you can always use a block or a pillow again, just to prop up your bum, just to make sure that you're not rolling. And your hips nice and even. Then tucking the toes of your left leg, right leg is going to come and step back into downward facing dog. Okay, so left leg raises high this time. Bend the left knee is going to come in behind the left hand. Left ankle is behind the right hand. Again, whatever position feels good for you. Look behind you. Make sure that right leg is nice and straight. If you need to put something underneath your bum to stop yourself rolling, then do so. But find length in your spine. You come down to your arms, if that feels okay. Or come down onto your forearms. Head on forearms. All raised up. Whatever feels good for your body. Remember what I said about feeling the sensation. So if you're feeling the sensation here, perfectly fine. Maybe you want to stay here. It's all about relaxing into your breath. If you find you're struggling to keep a nice steady breath, or your breath is quickening, or you can't breathe very well, you've gone too far. Plant the hands back down, tuck the toes of the right foot. Left leg is going to kick all the way back into downward facing dog. Nice bend in the knees here. Push your thighs towards your belly towards your thighs. Then on our next inhale, we're going to come up onto the toes, arch the back so it's like you're in your cat pose, and lean over your hands. Then bend your knees, push back into downward facing dog. So we've kind of got this rolling action going on. So you inhale, arch your back, come over into your plank, lengthen through the spine, bend the knees come about an inch off the ground, push your bum back, and then up. Just do some more of these for a second. They can take a little while to get the hang of. Very, very good for strengthening though. Last one. Next time you're in downward facing dog, bring the right foot up in between the hands. Walk your hands around so you're walking towards the long side of your mat. Feet turn in, you find yourself in a wide-legged forward fold. Left hand is going to come to the middle of the mat. Inhale the right arm up for your twist. Again, if you need a block or something to come onto, just that you're a little bit higher off of the ground, you can do so. Right hand comes back down towards the mat, in the middle of the mat. Left hand raises up. Wide leg twist. Lower your left hand to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to your hips. Exhale up. Keeping your toes where they are. Heels come in. Maybe you might want to adjust your stance a little bit so that you can then bend into your knees and come into your goddess pose. So in your goddess pose, you want your knees over your ankles and your knees kind of tracking backwards. So really opening up the hips here. Length through your spine. Again, do what you want with your hands. Either chin mudra on your knees, hands to heart, open cactus, whatever feels good for you. Don't forget to breathe. Nice inhale and exhale here. Next exhale, coming back up to standing. Just heel toe your feet in a little bit closer. And let's drop into our squat. So if you need anything for underneath your heels, then do so. If you don't want to come down as far, you don't have to. So hands towards your chest. Take a nice big inhale. Your next exhale, just slowly start to lower down. So if that means you stay here, you can stay here. You can go a little bit lower, you can go a little bit lower and adjust when you get down. Using your elbows to kind of push your knees out towards the side a little bit. Just find length in the spine. And again, you can always roll up the mat and have the mat underneath your ankles for this one. And then bring your left hand to the floor by your left foot. Inhale the right arm up. Nice inhale and exhale here. And back to center. Right hand comes to the floor, left hand comes up. Just opening up that chest. And back to center. If you are further up into your squat, you can still do this. Just very, very strengthening on your legs there. Okay, bring the hands behind. Just drop your bum down. Fingertips to the mat, toes to the mat. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to go a bit further, hover the feet. If you want to go further, take the hands up. Just try to keep length in that spine. And hold here. Feel your core muscles engaging. Again, focus on your breath. It's really going to help you hold this. I'm not going to be holding it too long. You can always grab behind the thighs as well if that feels good. And then lower the toes, lower the hands. Maybe push your bum forward a little bit. Then just roll back onto your back. Maybe just taking a few circles here on the back. Rolling your knees one way and then the other. And then take your feet flat to the ground. Maybe you find your heels with your fingertips, maybe you don't. Grounding down through your feet, through your hands. Just slowly start to lift your pelvis up towards the sky. As you do this, make sure you keep looking towards the sky. Don't turn your head while you're in this pose. So just push your pelvis up to the sky. Push it higher and higher, as high as you can go. Exhale, low down. Just take a moment here. Okay, let's do that again. So ground down through the feet, through the hands. Inhale, raise the pelvis off the floor. Push it up high towards the sky. Keep pushing. Again, focus in on that breath. It's all about having a steady breath in these poses. Pushing yourself, but tricking your body into thinking you're calm here. Exhale, lower back down. Hug your knees in. Take a few circles again if you want. Just going to move my microphone a sec. And lifting your feet up, just grab the outsides of your feet. Open your hips up into happy baby pose. So just a few little rocks here, maybe side to side. Try to actively have some force in between your hands and your feet. So your feet are trying to push upwards while your hands are trying to pull downwards. Just a little bit active there. If you want in this pose, if you're quite flexible, you can grab hold of your big toes or your feet if you can. And you can maybe open up one leg, straighten it, bend it and straighten up the other. Or maybe straighten both legs. Whatever feels good for you. Just having a little play, a little rock. And then if you have got your legs straight, just bending back into them. Bring your feet together. Lower your feet back down to the mat. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Arms come out to a T. Drop your knees over to the left. And you can either stay looking up at the ceiling or look over your right shoulder. And just try to relax your whole body here. So no muscle tension at all. Maybe closing down the eyes. Just starting to relax the body. And bring your knees back up to the center. Drop them over to the right. Either stay facing, looking up at the ceiling, or look over your left shoulder. Again, maybe closing down the eyes. Just relaxing here. You don't want any tension anywhere. Again, focusing on that breath. Focus on the inhale to your belly. Does your belly feel relaxed? Could you relax it a little bit more? And inhale your legs back up to center. Hug them in nice and tight. And take any last little movements you want to here before we come into our Shavasana pose. So if you are in quite a cold room, you might want to grab a blanket to put over you because you cool down really, really quickly in Shavasana. So just find a comfortable lying down position on your mat. Legs go long, feet flop open. Maybe you want to tuck the shoulder blades under. Hands can face the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale and sigh it out through the mouth. Do 2 more of these. Then come back to your natural breath. And let's take a body scan. So starting at the bottom, let's just make sure all of our toes are nice and relaxed. Relaxing the feet, the ankles, the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs, the pelvis, the stomach, the chest, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and the whole of our backs. Relaxing the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the hands and the fingers. Just feel the whole body melt into the floor. Feel the weight of it. Feel the earth beneath you. And give in. Let's soften the jaw. Maybe the lips part slightly. Soften the cheekbones. Soften the eyes. Soften the forehead. Soften all the creases of the forehead. Just feel everything release. Shavasana is so important to feel the benefits of our practice. Maybe you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit calmer than you did at the start of this practice today. And just slowly start to deepen the breath. Take a nice big inhale to that belly and let it out. And really feel the stomach muscles relaxing here. Nice big inhale all the way into them stomach muscles. And just slowly start to wriggle the fingers and wriggle the toes. Maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles if that feels good. Maybe dropping one ear to the ground and then the other. And then slowly start to bend one foot up and then the other, rolling over onto one side. And just taking a moment here to pause, let the body reawaken. And slowly pushing yourself up to seated. If you haven't already, you can slowly blink open the eyes. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Hands come together. Exhale, hands to heart. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me for day 21. I'll meet you tomorrow for day 22, a little bit more relaxing. I will see you then.